It's the Quiz of the Week. A cane-fronted teak cocktail bar with glasses, champagne bucket, silver-plated water jug. Nicholas Parsons.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello and welcome to our Boxing Day edition of the Sale of the Century.
Hi everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now today I am in Church Row in North London. Now apparently, I don't know if it's true, but Ricky Gervais lives in one of these houses around here. How true that is, I do not know, but I've heard that as a rumour before. Anyway, today we've come to find the final resting place of Nicholas Parsons. Hopefully you remember him, Sale of the Century. He did a bit of acting work as well, amongst many other things. And he is believed to be here in this churchyard, which is where of course we have come before to find Peter Cook's last resting place, which is on the channel if you haven't seen it already. So I'll tell you a little bit about him. We're going to have a little look around and we'll see if we can find Nicholas Parsons' final resting place. Don't forget, if you like the video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified as and when the new videos come out. And of course, leave your comments down below as well. And we'll carry on now and find his final resting place.
Christopher Nicholas Parsons CBE, 10th of October 1923 to the 28th of January 2020, was an English actor, straight man and radio and television presenter. He was the long-running presenter of the comedy radio show Just a Minute and hosted the game show Sale of the Century during the 1970s and 1980s. Christopher Nicholas Parsons was born on the 10th of October 1923 at 1 Castlegate, Grantham, Lincolnshire. He was the middle child of the family, having an older brother and a younger sister. His father, Paul, was a general practitioner whose patients included the family of Margaret Thatcher. Claims that he delivered her are apocryphal. His mother, now Nee Maggs, was a nurse before her marriage. Parsons was born left-handed but was made to write with his right hand. As a child he had a stutter which he managed to control as he grew older and was slow to learn owing to dyslexia. He also suffered from migraines but nevertheless excelled at school. After education at Collet Court and St Paul's School in London, Parsons' initial career plan was to become an actor. However, his parents believed that a career in engineering would be better, as he had repaired grandfather clocks as a young man and was creative with his hands. While at school, he was best friends with John Treacher, who later joined the Royal Navy and rose to become Commander-in-Chief Fleet. Parsons' nickname at school was Shirley after Shirley Temple. After he had left school, his family contacted relatives in Scotland, who arranged for a job for him in Clydebank near Glasgow, where he spent 5 years employed as an engineering apprentice at Drysdale's, a maker of marine pumps. Parsons was 16 when his parents sent him from his relatively privileged home in London to the industrial, hardened city of Glasgow. 60 years later, in 2010, he recorded a nostalgic radio programme titled Doon the Water on YouTube, about his time as an apprentice, highlighting his posh middle-class accent amidst the Glasgow working-class dialect. While there, he also spent 2 6-month periods studying engineering at the University of Glasgow. He never graduated, but finished his apprenticeship and gained sufficient qualifications to become a mechanical engineer. He was offered a posting in the Merchant Navy during the Second World War, but he did not join the service after falling seriously ill with pleurisy. He spent 5 months in hospital, and at one point his survival chances were rated only 50-50. In the 1950s and 1960s, he appeared in many supporting roles in British television films. In the late 1960s, he portrayed David Courtney in the American sitcom The Ugliest Girl in Town. In the 1950s, Parsons provided the non-singing voice of Tex Tucker in the children's TV puppet show series 4 Feather Falls, having put himself forward for the job at the suggestion of his first wife, actress and voiceover artiste Denise Breyer, who was in the show during the late 1960s. He created and presented a satirical programme on BBC Radio 4 called Listen to This Space, which by the standards of its time was very avant-garde, and he received the Radio Personality of the Year award for his work on this programme in 1967. Parsons became known to TV audiences in the 1950s and 60s as the straight man to comedian Arthur Haynes for 10 years. The partnership broke up at Haynes' request. They had a successful season at the London Palladium in 1963, and shortly before the split appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show in the United States. Although Parsons was not credited, subsequently Parsons returned to the stage before becoming a regular on The Benny Hill Show from 1968 to 1971. After Haynes died, Parsons appeared as a personality all of his own on television, including in the long-running Anglia television quiz show Sale of the Century, broadcast weekly from 1971 to 1983. In 1983, Hill wrote and performed in the sketch Sale of the Half Century, with himself cast as Parsons. Parsons was the subject of This Is Your Life in 1978, when he was surprised by Eamon Andrews. In 2005, Parsons was guest presenter on the BBC topical quiz show Have I Got News For You? He appeared on Celebrity Mastermind in 2007, Just a Minute transferred to television in 2012, for a 10-part early evening series to celebrate its 45th anniversary, with Parsons and regular panellist Paul Merton. He appeared opposite ex-wife Denise Breyer in the Big Finish adaptation of the Gerry Anderson series Terrorhawks, playing the ex-husband of Breyer's character Zelda. Parsons wrote an autobiography entitled The Straight Man, My Life in Comedy, which was published in 1994, and he produced a book of memoirs in 2010 called Nicholas Parsons, with just a touch of hesitation, repetition and deviation. In October 2016, at the age of 92, Parsons presented the BBC documentary The Incredible Story of Marie Antoinette's Watch, following the story of Marie Antoinette Watch, created by Abraham Louis Breguet. Parsons was a lifelong collector of clocks and watches. He played himself and provided the voice of Dagon, Lord of the Flies, in The Good Omens, filmed between 2017 and 2018. From 2001, he appeared annually at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, presenting his comedy cabaret show, The Happy Hour. Parsons was married twice. He was first married to actress Denise Breyer in 1954. Together they had 2 children. The couple divorced in 1989. He subsequently married Anne Reynolds in 1995. He was a keen cricket fan both as a player and supporter, and had a lifelong enthusiasm for clocks. In August 2019, Parsons suffered a fall on a train to Edinburgh while travelling to perform his show, The Happy Hour, at the Edinburgh Fringe. On admission to hospital a few days later, he was found to have a stomach ulcer and anemia, and remained hospitalised in Edinburgh for 10 days, before being moved to Stoke Mandeville Hospital near his home in Aylesbury. After 2 more weeks in the hospital, he returned home and began a slow recuperation. After a brief illness, Parsons died on the 28th of January 2020, aged 96.
So there's all the information there about Nicholas Parsons. What an amazing, talented person he was, and he lived to a ripe old age, didn't he? So we're going to have a look around now, and we're going to go to find his final resting place and give him our best wishes as always. As I'm walking through up here, I know I've said it before, that is Peter Cook's final resting place, who we have seen before. Of course, let's have a look. This cemetery is always good to look around because you always spot some little gems around somewhere as well. Have a look over here. For those of you that may not have seen the video, please go and watch it. But I'll show you anyway. Peter Edward Cook, dearly loved wife, performer, satirist, husband, father, brother, 1937 to 1995. And there's his wife next to him. Anyway, we're not here to see Peter, we've done that video, but I've got a spare set of shoes in the car which I should have worn instead of wearing these ones, because these are the cool, chill, driving ones, you know what I mean? Anyway, I've been having a good look around and quite near Peter Cook's final resting place. I think I found it. Here we go, come over here. Oops. And here he is. Nicholas Parsons, 1923 to 2020. There's a stopwatch on there because he's a massive fan of clocks and watches apparently. I think he used to build them in his younger days. Actor and entertainer, and if by magic the clock goes off. A wonderful husband, father and grandfather. That always happens, things like that. Is this here? Oh, that's for someone else, is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look, Nicholas Parsons. John Donald Henry. It's amazing what you see when you start having a look around, isn't it? So we have it, the final resting place of Nicholas Parsons. Got to say a massive thank you, Nicholas. All the entertainment you brought people all over the years, whether it's your acting, your presenting, your comedy work that you did with many, many people as well. Yeah, so a massive thank you there, Nicholas. What an amazing person, Nicholas Parsons there. His final resting place. Now, if you're too young to remember who Nicholas Parsons is, which I very much doubt, then go and ask your parents or your grandparents. He was just very, I don't know, he just come across as a nice sort of clean-cut living guy, very friendly with people, contestants that used to be on the game shows and things like that, and he just seemed like he was really down to earth with everyone. Anyway, Nicholas Parsons there, in this lovely piece of North London. Like I say, I believe, I don't know if it's true or not, someone told me when I came to Peter Cook that Ricky Gervais lives opposite somewhere. If I knew where, I'd go and knock on his door, because I'm a big fan. No, I wouldn't really. Imagine that. Hello, Ricky. Like, go away. Yeah, so Nicholas Parsons, leave your comments down below, give it a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and I will see you all on the next one. Take it easy.